Okay, so look around you, Zach. We're out in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. Well, technically, we're going to be driving to Marshfield, Wisconsin to go buy a new Ford Super Duty truck, 2022. Yep. 3/4 ton pickup truck, gasser with a 6-speed transmission, 4-wheel drive with trailer tow package, snowplow prep package. And if you look inside of the cab of this truck, it is basically the big brother or the work version of this F-150. So what do you think this thing is going to set me back? What do you guys think it's going to set me back?
I'm thinking probably 96.
V&H Automotive in Marshfield, Wisconsin. I've never met these guys. Let's just see if they're as real of a deal as they seemed like they were on the phone.
How's it going?
Good.
Stan?
Zach?
Pleasure to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you, man. I just drove 3 hours to buy a truck from you.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. So.
Oh, is this it right
here?
here?
This is the one. I had it cleaned and they brought it in, so I wanted you to see it before it got all salted up and stuff outside. So, doors are all open. If you want to check it out and if you want to drive it and that kind of stuff, we can pull it out too and let you drive it.
All right, Zach, what do you think this truck is going for? Now you see it, and these guys, what do you think it is?
If we were going to sell this, you know, if we were going to try to buy this one.
Don't say nothing yet, Zach. Don't say nothing yet. Hey, oh, Zach, meet Zach. Zach, meet Zach.
Pleasure to meet you.
And I'm having Zach, my Zach, the cameraman, guess what this truck is. So you guessed 96 before.
Yeah, I'd still guess about 96, maybe 97.
Okay. There's a reason why, Zach, I didn't even tell you this story.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we just drove 3 hours to buy this truck is because of the dealer before you.
Yeah.
So I found, my buddy Dan from Tools in Action found almost this identical truck online for about the same price that you guys were selling this one.
Sure.
And I call the guy up. Now I can't tell you what his name, well technically I can tell you what. So although technically I can tell you what his name is, it probably wouldn't be smart because if he can, I'm pretty sure that he would sue me for that. Because if I can tell you anything about this guy, it was the most miserable experience I've ever had with any truck dealer in my life. In fact, this guy, well, you know what? Let me just tell Zach the story because I can, and you guys can follow along with. But take your best guess what you think this guy's name might be in the comments down below, because you can. I call this guy up and I say, hey, I want to buy this truck.
Sure.
And he's like, well, great. What do you want to offer me? I'm like, well, I'll just pay you what the stickers. I had that look like you just looked at me like, well, I'll just pay you. He's like, oh no. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, we already have an offer for $7,500 over, and we're expecting we're going to get probably 10 over. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You have it listed at this price. And now you got me to call, and you're telling me you won't sell it to me for that price. Isn't that called bait and switch?
I would say it's not right, at least, at the minimum.
Or
false advertising.
False advertising, because it's advertised at one price. And I even said this to him. I'm like, well, it's either bait and switch or false advertising, because you're advertising it here. I'm willing to pay you what you're telling me you want.
Right.
He's like, no. And he got arrogant. And he got cocky, and he was just... I was on the phone with him for 15 minutes, and then he called me back to chew me out some more. But it was over by Chicago. My buddy Dan found it, and he, even before any of this happened, he said to me, there's something weird going on about this truck. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Dan? And he says, look in the background. There's leaves on the trees, and they're just starting to fall. And I paid no attention to it. He's like, so that truck's been sitting on that lot for a long time, so either nobody's biting on a Super Duty, which makes 0 sense, or something else is going on with the truck. And what that tells me, now you tell me if I'm thinking wrong, Zach, but what that tells me is that these guys got this truck, and they price it low, and they get people to start calling, and then they upsell them, or it's a typical bait and switch or false advertising.
Yeah, you just keep on adding things up and you wait until you get the number they want, is what it sounds like. If we wanted to, we could do that kind of stuff, but here in central Wisconsin, we're a small town. If we do that kind of stuff, it's absolutely terrible for business for us. The way the world is now, why treat your customers like that? They deserve better. So the price is the price. It's the same price it would have been a year ago. You know, it shouldn't change. Try to take care of our customers.
So it's not technically bait and switch or false advertising because it's the MSRP, the manufacturer's suggested retail price. That doesn't mean a dealership has to honor that in any way, shape, or form. So what this other dealership was doing was showing what the manufacturer's suggested retail price was, getting people to call in, and then raising the price up and trying to squeeze people as much as they possibly could to get as much money out of them, and they sure as heck weren't nice about it. Kind of Chicago style, right? Sorry if Chicago people, sorry, not sorry, some of you guys are douchebags. But when I started to deal with V&H Auto, it was a completely different story. But I was still gun shy from the last dealership I was working with. So when I talked to the manager, I really didn't know what to expect. And your manager got on the phone with me, and I'm like, okay, so how much is the truck? And you guys had it priced at $61,000.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the price. And I'm like, well, how much are you asking for it? Because I wasn't going to say anything at this point. And he's like, well, I would never turn a deal down over a couple $100.
Right.
And I'm like, you're not answering my question.
Give me a number.
How much do you want for this truck?
Right.
He's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, just tell me how much money I got to bring to buy this truck. And he's like, well, it's listed at $61,000. What do you?
Right.
What? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll give you what you're asking for it. And I'm kind of like, eh.
Yep.
He's like, all right, I'll put a sold sticker on it. And I'm like, did that actually just happen? I didn't have any hassle, no problems whatsoever, and you started to help me out immediately.
Yeah, that's what the expectation should be. It shouldn't be you have to call and wonder what it's going to happen or what the price is going to be. You should see it, call, and then somebody starts helping you go through the process and answer any questions you have. It's supposed to be streamlined and tailored to what people need and want.
Okay, so let's show these guys what we're getting here. So this has got the blackout appearance package.
Yep. So 2022 F-250 Super Duty. It's got a 6.2 liter V8 engine, and we're looking at an XLT with the blackout appearance package. So that'll get you your wheels, your black grills, all the trims to make it a beautiful truck. But we're still set up for all the work and everything that somebody's looking for out of a Super Duty.
So the 6.2, like everybody's like, I was looking at the 7.3 or the diesel, but we already run 6.2s. This has got a 6-speed transmission, and I was told that this combo is kind of like the bulletproof combo. It's the tried and true combo.
100%.
I've also heard that people are having problems with the 7.3 coupled with the 10-speed transmission.
Every vehicle is temperamental. You know, you treat them right, they're just like people, really, is the way to look at it. The 7.3 with the 10-speed, it's fairly new yet. Still, every new model year has its few kinks. A lot of people like it. You get a little bit smoother shifting, but they have kinks, you know, just like everything else. But
so I'm hearing the exact opposite. Not smoother shifting, hiccups.
Really?
Yeah, but I also don't like to be stuck on the side of the road. So this is
right.
Go ahead, let's look
100%.
inside. I'm gonna look inside for the first time here.
So, like I was saying about it being a work-ready truck, with your snowplow prep that's in there, do alternators. That way when you're running your plow, there's a lot of juice being drawn by those. Especially with like your big rear end plows, you get your V plows, everything in the front end. It helps draw that, so then you still are able to do everything inside that you already have and you already want.
Hey, I got a question for you. This has it said fifth wheel package on it. Can you actually physically show me what that means?
Yeah, come around to the back here.
Okay.
So your fifth wheel prep is every brand has some variant of it. The way that it's set up with Ford here is you'll get your plug-in wiring in the rear end for your gooseneck and your fifth wheel trailers. But it comes with your holes pre-set up. So if you go with like a fifth wheel plate, and it's got to be set up for Ford's system. But basically the pins just slide right in, your plate's there and it locks in.
Oh, dude.
It makes it really easy to have that.
I bought a Ram and a Ford the exact same year, 1 month apart. I have no dents on my Ford, and my Ram I've got 9.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're having good luck with the Fords. We'll take that all day long.
I'm buying this because it's an oddly cheap work truck.
Yep.
I really want I mean, I'm concentrating more on making this truck make a living for me.
Sure.
And I feel that, you know, this is a good combination to actually for the bang for the buck, I guess
Okay.
is really what I'm looking
Yeah.
at with this thing's at.
Sure.
So,
along with your snowplow stuff being already set up in there, the fifth wheel trailer tow is another thing that, I mean, when you're buying a Super Duty, you're pulling something or you're pushing something.
okay, show me
Really.
what trailer tow means. Go.
So, with your trailer tow package in there, trailer brake controller is going to come standard right away from Ford. That is a huge, huge thing to have. You don't have a big box down here hitting your knee or
Yep.
whatever the case may be.
Agreed.
So that stuff's already set up. Blind spot monitoring, it's another big one with Ford. So it's right in the mirror here, you can see that. And your sensors are in your rear taillights. Ford also has trailer coverage. So that's a big thing. Once your trailer's hooked up, we can go right into your center dash there, put your links in, and that blind spot monitoring will cover your truck and your trailer link.
Dual batteries, boom, boom.
Yep.
Okay.
With your snowplow, you get the dual batteries and the dual alternators.
All right, guys, this is Matt, and we're going over warranty stuff. And one of the main questions that I really need cleared up, because I've heard it both ways, and I just wanted to know the straight information. If I bought this truck and I didn't have a snowplow on it, and I put a snowplow on it, does that void the warranty from Ford?
No, not from Ford.
It doesn't?
No.
So I can put a
No.
I could put a snowplow on any Ford truck.
Ford's going to cover all their manufacturer or all the factory installed components.
Okay, but now that I'm buying one with a snowplow prep package,
Yep.
if I want the extended warranty, I do have to disclose whether I'm putting a snowplow on it or not, because that affects the price of the extended warranty.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, but they'll still cover it. They'll still cover it. They just want to know if you're putting a snowplow on it.
Okay, so now let's get really creative. I buy the extended warranty and tell you I'm not going to put a snowplow on it, but then I do.
And then if it comes time to make a claim and they
Yep.
see there's a snowplow on it, then if they send an auditor out to look at it, because sometimes they do, you know, if you make an engine claim or something, a big claim,
Okay.
and they'll come out, take a look at the engine, you know, come to the shop and look at it. If they see that there's snowplow brackets hanging off of it, they're going to start asking questions, and then they're going to
Okay, so
then the claim will get denied.
that's the information. So that clears up that story.
Yep.
Okay, I really wanted to clear that
So
up.
in that scenario, if you bought the truck today not intending to put the snowplow on it, and then
Yep.
you get this extended warranty, but then 2 years down the road you say, well, I want to put a snowplow on it.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
call me back and I can update your policy, and then we can just put that rider on it that you're putting a snowplow on it.
Update your policy is a really kind way of saying you can
Yep.
charge me more.
Well, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yep.
But honestly, it is good to
But-
know, because I don't want to have guys out there having issues with warranty claims and getting rejected.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the straight
Yep.
scoop. So this story actually gets even more interesting. I'm buying the 5-year, 120-some thousand mile extended warranty on this truck, but there's something really crazy that I had zero clue about. We're gonna get it right from Matt. All right, this is a little bit crazy. So,
Yep.
tell me about this warranty thing again.
So, after the first 36,000 miles, if you don't take it, you don't need to take it back to a Ford dealership. If you can, that's ideal. But so let's say you're on a long trip and you break down, and the nearest repair shop is an independent repair shop. They're not affiliated with any brand. They can make the claim for you too, as long as they are ASE certified.
Any ASE certified shop
Yep.
can now cover my Ford truck
Yep.
with this extent. So I could bring it
Yep.
to a Chrysler.
Yep.
I could bring it to, heaven forbid, I'm going to swear to a couple of guys, a Chevy dealer,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's covered.
Yep. As long as they're ASE certified.
Okay, I need to go on the record by letting you guys know this is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. I paid sticker price and negotiated with V&H Auto right out of the gate. But a big thanks goes out to my buddy Dan from Tools in Action for helping me search for the last 6 months. And another big thanks goes out to my buddy Sean, who actually was the one that connected me with V&H Auto and found this truck for me after so much searching. I've never seen this before. Okay, explain this to me, Zach.
So we were just going through the drive modes in this Super Duty.
Okay.
Your four-wheel drive. So interesting thing, when you put it into your mud and ruts, it'll tell you to switch it to the four-wheel drive there.
Okay.
And then when you pull this knob out, as long as you have your little decal there, that's an electronic locking rear end. So that'll lock both of your tires together in the rear end so they spin together. That way it's not spinning here and spinning here. If you're stuck or if you're going off-road through mud or really heavy snow, you want both of your tires to be going together.
Oh, so it's only, so we got, let me explain this. We got drive mode. Let's go through the drive modes. We got normal, tow haul. What does tow haul do?
Tow haul, that's going to get your trailer ready to go. So when you hook up to a trailer, you have something heavy in the rear end, sets your motor up for success, basically. You're going to shift, you're going to hold RPMs a little bit longer.
Okay.
So you're not really, killing yourself trying to pull your trailer.
Oh, okay. Does it downshift sooner too?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. We got eco mode. What does that do?
So eco mode, that's going to give you a little bit less torque when you hit your gas pedal, but you're not burning as much fuel. So highway speeds, as long as you're not passing, it's going to save you fuel economy, cheaper running.
Are you actually shutting down a couple cylinders? Because I've heard that in some other vehicles where like, it shuts down 2 cylinders. Correct. Or something.
Yep. So some of the vehicles will shut down cylinders. This one, you're just going to have less fuel going into your injectors, and the computer really controls everything.
How much does that actually save in real life? Anything? Or
I would say if you're running on a regular basis, you're not pulling that kind of stuff, I would say you're probably going to notice 2 miles per gallon better.
Oh, geez. Okay. We got 2 more modes. Slippery mode. Okay, isn't that what four-wheel drive is for?
Yep, so basically it sets your computer up. It tells your computer that you want to start off in like second gear. So like Jeep does that. So you start off slower at the line, so you're not spinning your tires right away.
Well, what about if it's like, I don't get it, like slippery? What if you're going down the road at 50 miles an hour? Isn't that slippery and it's snowing out and raining out? Or it's not for like in a situation where you're going down the road and it's the ice is glazing over?
Same sort of situation there. It's going to set your computer really controls everything in the truck. Your wheel speed, the way they're spinning together, that sort of thing. Okay. And it sets it up so if it starts to slip, one of your wheels will slow down a little bit, so it tries to pull it back together where it's supposed to be.
Okay. Now this is where it gets funky. Now we go into the deep snow sand mode, and then this is where we pop that little sucker out.
Yep. So this is when you flip it to your deep snow and sand there. Okay. It's going to tell you a lot for improved performance four-wheel drive. So we're going to flip it to 4i.
It said for improved performance four-wheel. Yep. Okay, so.
And now we're in four-wheel drive, so it's locked in. Extra, like if you're in deep snow or mud and ruts, that kind of thing, right now our wheels are going to spin separately in the rear end. So this one's going to spin, then this one will spin. You're not always getting the best traction from both sides. So if we pull this knob out,
okay,
that'll lock your 2 tires together so they're spinning at the same speed.
In the rear?
In the rear, yep. It'll lock them together so they're spinning at the same speed. Gives you advanced traction in the rear end.
How is that compared to 4-low? Because I thought that's what 4-low was.
4-low will do the same thing except for it gears you lower too. So you can still switch it to 4-low here and not lock your rear end.
Oh.
So if you're doing any sort of stuff where you're going to be in heavy snow or slippery conditions a lot, or out in fields pulling trailers, hay wagons, that kind of stuff, you're going to want the locking rear end so you don't have the extra traction.
But that's an option?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. How much extra does that option usually cost?
If I was going to throw a number out there, I'd say maybe $300.
Oh, geez. Buy it. I don't have a button that moves my seat back and forth. I got the old-fashioned lever.
Yeah.
But I got that button there, and I'll take that button there any day over the button on the side of the seat that moves it forward and backward for me.
Cheap and ready to work.
I love it. Dude, I love it. And then we got our track lock off.
Yep.
And let's just walk through that for these guys so that they understand. When I'm in 2-wheel drive with the traction control on, exactly what does that do, Zach?
So when traction control is on, your tires cannot spin freely. Basically, the truck stops the tires from just going and going and going. They'll go a little bit and they'll stop. They'll go a little bit and they'll stop. Traction control helps you keep, when you're going 55 down the road and it's slippery, your tires aren't going to hit ice and just go crazy. That's what it's really designed for. When you're in snow, again, you want your tires to spin and get you moving.
So you want to turn that off.
When you hit that, it'll come up off there that it's off, and your tires are going to go.
So turn it off if you're stuck.
Yep.
Because you won't go, but if you're going down the road at 55 miles an hour, make sure your traction control is on, because that's going to help you not to
Fishtail around on the highways when you hit a patch of ice.
Got it. Okay, so the question is, do you like it better in black or gray? Are you a black truck fan or a gray truck fan? How much is this one going for, Zach?
61, 145. They are set up identical. Only
Same
difference is their
exact
color.
price. And so you got one left.
I have this one right here, straight across the way. I have just one more.
Oh, you got two left.
I got.
Okay. We're gonna be putting a new plow on the front of this truck, and you guys tell me what plow you want to see on the front of that truck. My options that I'm thinking are a Boss EXT, a Western Wideout, or the Snow Power F14, or something else. You guys tell me. So I'd love to hear from you guys on that one, but we're gonna go hit the road. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. V&H Auto out of Marshfield, Wisconsin. How do guys find you?
We have a website, it's vhautos.com. Otherwise, our direct line is 715-387-2545. And that'll get you the gals up at the front desk.
Okay.
Anytime, we're happy to help anybody.
All right, guys. And this is not a sponsored video. I'm paying these guys.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks, Zach.
Yep.